Bradford A.
Yo, dude, what's up?
Oh man, a lot.
Yeah,
It's a
I know.
great day.
It is a great day
today. Yes.
It surely is. It made even better because we have, I want to call her an old friend, but she's not old.
No, she's not old.
She's not old.
But she's been a friend for a long time.
Right.
Which is amazing.
But I'm sure she's sick of people telling her how big she's gotten and how old she is.
That's true.
Yes.
Let's hear it from her.
Yes. So we have the most charming Haley Pullos with us. Hello.
Hi.
What's going on, girl?
I'm just hanging out.
Okay, first of all, you are just hanging out. First of all, thank you for doing this on short notice.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
of course. I'm so happy. I've been wanting to join you guys
Awesome.
for quite a while now.
Well,
Fantastic.
fantastic.
Had we known, we would have done it earlier. We're sorry.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we would have reached out during our downtime during the pandemic, but here we are. So, how are you? How's life? What's going on in your life right now?
Oh, I'm just living life during a pandemic.
Yes.
Which is very strange. But I am officially working on a couple new projects.
Hey-o.
Awesome.
So that's
Nice.
pretty cool.
That's amazing.
What would you say? What was obviously the pandemic put a kibosh on a lot of people's everything, but was there something in particular that happened that you were looking forward to during the pandemic that you didn't get to do, be it work or personal?
Honestly, just working.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. And which we're now obviously doing again. So
Right.
that's nice. But when we weren't able to work, that killed me. I lost my mind because working is the thing that makes me feel sane.
Yes. When you're an actor, everyone loves to work, right? Like that is why we got into this. This is why, obviously you got into it at a young age and we're going to talk about that. But in terms of like how you function, are you a busybody or do you handle downtime okay? Or when you say you want to work, is it just because you don't handle downtime well? Or is it just because you're a runner?
I'm honestly really good at downtime, which
That's amazing.
maybe comes from being on set all the time and having downtime on set. But yeah, no, I'm great at just chilling on the couch and watching TV or listening to a podcast. That's my thing.
Right. So the work is about the creative process for you. It's not just to be busy.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The work is for me like it's my happy place. It makes me
Awesome.
happy.
Great. And the other projects outside of GH right now, are they film? Is it TV? You don't have to tell us what it is. And if you want to, feel free to talk about it.
Are you allowed?
I'm a little bit superstitious when it comes to work, but we've officially closed on this, so I think
Awesome.
I can probably talk about it.
Wow, that's great.
There's an NDA, be careful.
I know, exactly.
Yeah, right.
But I am going to be filming a movie in Italy.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
Like how soon?
In October.
Wow. Good.
I
for
know.
you.
Wow. That is
Awesome.
so cool.
I'm
Congratulations.
So Thank you.
That's
so amazing.
Cool.
Oh, so have you ever been to Italy?
Never. I've never been to Europe.
You
Oh
might
my
not come
gosh.
back. You
I
might
know.
not come back.
My dad goes, there's only one thing you're not allowed to do. You cannot fall in love.
Oh, that's funny. I thought you were going to say you can't stay.
And that's impossible not to do in Italy.
I know.
I'd honestly, if it was my daughter, I'd be worried that she wouldn't come back.
Well,
listen, if it's beautiful and they're dealing with coronavirus better than America, I don't know.
Do you know where in Italy you're going?
Rome.
Oh, Rome's the best. Rome is like, it is just the most, and I hope for your sake that things are open. Things are open and, because that's part of it is walking down the streets of Rome and the cafe, the restaurants, the restaurantes are, like they're outdoor cafes. You feel the energy and people are out. I hope it feels like that there, because that's part of the
But just the history of Rome is incredible.
Oh, sure.
I know.
I mean,
but you're less likely to fall in love if you don't have all the people around.
we don't need her to fall in love there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
we
I don't
don't need her to fall in love there.
Drinking Chianti is less enjoyable by yourself. I mean, it's pretty
definitely-
good by itself too.
I have limoncello right there.
There you go.
So
You be careful with that. You be careful with that.
Dude,
Limoncello,
that's too sweet.
but it's strong, dude.
opened.
Oh, is it?
That
yeah,
one has never been opened. That's from my sister. I think she went to Italy when she was in high school.
Yeah. Limoncello and grappa. Careful with the grappa. That'll get you.
Yeah, that I know. I know
Yeah.
grappa. That's not
Well.
good. Yeah. So Haley, how old are you?
I am 22, but
Mm.
I don't like to talk about my most recent birthday, so I'm 21.
Okay. Great. We're okay with
Okay,
that.
well, I just turned 50 and I don't like to talk about that, so I'm 49.
There you go.
So there it is.
How it works.
All right. So
Amazing.
speaking of your creative passion, right? You love acting. This is your passion in life that you know of, right?
Yeah.
So far. I mean, are you into music? Do you play music? Are you into music? Are you into art? Do you do any drawing, painting, anything else
That's so funny.
creatively?
I absolutely love all other forms of art. I love music. I love, painting and stuff like that. But
that thing.
Yeah.
That thing.
I love graffiti.
Some graffiti I'm okay with, just as
for
long
sure.
as it's not on nature.
Sure.
And
Sure.
that. But I'm not able to do any of it.
Right.
So you
right.
you just appreciate it. You don't
I
create it.
Hate the heck out of it.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. That's awesome. So when did it start for you? When did you figure out that you wanted to act?
Well, because here's the thing. I went on your Wikipedia page because I really like to do my research ahead of time. So I do those deep dives on Wikipedia.
Yeah, that's a deep dive.
So I see that you were born in 1998, and it said years active. I think it said 2002. So that means you were like 4. So I'm curious. So that just begs the question, like, and I also see you're from Northern California. So like, how does someone that is not of a career deciding age, i.e. like, 18, 22 or older,
Sure.
how did it find you in Northern California?
Well, so the 2002 thing, I don't think that's real.
Okay.
I apparently was like in a family friends movie.
Okay.
But it wasn't like a real thing. So I think they count that.
Sure.
But I started acting when I was 8 professionally.
Wow.
So that was like 2006.
And was that up north or was that down here in
That
LA?
was down here. That was here.
Okay.
So I went to an acting school, and they do like a convention where they have you perform in front of a bunch of agents and managers. And I met my manager through that, and basically she said, "Don't leave. Stay here."
Amazing.
Okay.
So in that first 8 years of your life, though, what was it? How did you get into acting classes or community theater? Or what was it that you were doing for those first 8 years that steered you towards that convention, if you will?
God, honestly, I don't even remember. I did a couple school plays. I was Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz in first grade, and then
first grade.
Yeah,
The full
first
play?
grade. Say that again?
The full show, or like?
No. Okay. Oh my God, the first that you asked. So they actually split the Dorothy character into 2 parts. So there was a Dorothy 1 and then a Dorothy 2.
Right.
And the Dorothy 2.
Uh-oh.
I will have a vendetta against her for the rest of my life.
That's
You have a
amazing.
nemesis, Dorothy too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So she had to like throw a bucket of confetti onto the Wicked Witch that was supposed to be like the water.
Oh, sure.
So she throws the confetti And then she just like kneels down and gets on the floor and starts playing with it.
Well, didn't you say you were in first grade? Maybe she's
Yeah.
like confetti.
Yeah. Okay, sure. Yes, it's first grade, but you're on stage.
You got to be professional, Bradford.
Yeah, no, you're right. Gosh darn her.
So
Yeah.
that drove me crazy. And then the next year we had the same teacher.
Hey, hold on, Haley. She was number 2 for a reason. Go ahead.
Hey,
Well,
right.
there you go.
You're number 1.
You're
number
number
2.
So the next year we were doing The Little Mermaid, and I basically went to my teacher and I was like, so Ariel loses her voice for like half of the movie. It would be super sad if like you split the character up into 2 and there's one person who has no lines. So maybe you should just make it 1. So I got the whole part of Ariel.
Awesome.
The whole part. Amazing.
Wow.
There is no Ariel 2 in this one.
No.
Exactly.
No, you should be your own manager too.
I know, right?
Yeah,
So
totally.
wow. So were there other things that you were interested in as a 5 and 6 year old?
I
Oh gosh.
think as like a 5-year-old, I did some fit modeling, which means you basically like try on
If you're-
clothes.
If you're
Right.
the size of a regular 5-year-old, you get
Yeah.
to put on the 5-year-old clothes.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Yeah. That's so funny. So you're from the Bay Area?
I am. Yeah, I'm from San Jose ish.
All right. Your Wikipedia says Palo Alto.
I know it does. It does say that. My dad always says he likes to put it as that because he knows when people are taking it from something else.
Oh,
I
interesting.
think he put it as Palo Alto on IMDb, so if it shows up
interesting.
in other places.
Yeah. It just
I see.
shows you how untrue the internet is.
Exactly.
So
It's all a lie.
It's all a lie.
do your parents have any connection to the arts in any way, or like?
None whatsoever. No.
So they just stayed down there because they wanted to give you an opportunity to act.
Oh yeah.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
We moved to LA for my career.
For you,
which
yeah, that's great.
I am so thankful and grateful for.
That's awesome. So so you got down here, and then would you start doing commercials? I'm assuming you did some commercials.
I did a couple commercials. Yeah, I also did some like co-star and guest star roles on some things, and then I booked GH at like 10.
Gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I can't even believe I've known you that long. And you too, Bradford, because you've been there 12 years.
I know.
I've been here 11.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I know. Well, because I started in like November of 2006, and and you weren't that far behind.
2006. I started in June of 2008,
9.
9.
8.
Something
Wow.
like that. Yeah, but I mean, and so you were because you were born in 1998.
I know.
Yeah, that's when Steve's gonna feel even more. That's the year I graduated high school. I was class 9. I was class 98. And
I
Let's-
graduated in 2016.
Let's not
Very
keep reminding people how old you are, Bradford. So Haley, how was your audition? Did you audition for Mark Teschner?
Oh my gosh, of course I did. The legend himself.
Yeah.
I only had one audition with him.
Wow.
I know. I didn't do any network, but I didn't do any screen testing or anything like that. I had my one single audition, and about 2 months later, I found out that I had booked it.
did he record you on tape or something? So you never went in. You never like had a callback with Jill or someone like that. Oh, interesting.
I did nothing. So, and Mark will tell you this story. He apparently went to Jill and he said, "This is our Molly. I can keep, auditioning girls, but this is our girl." And she said, "Go ahead." So,
Awesome.
Yeah, when you're Mark, people believe you.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I know.
That's-
that man is a genius.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
I mean, clearly.
look, all
Hello?
three of us.
Obviously.
Look, I mean, all three of us are on a podcast no one's ever heard. Look.
Oh, amazing. So, I mean, when you got this job, like moving down to LA, figuring you were going to get these opportunities, did you have any idea of what you wanted or any idea of like, what did you picture when you moved down here?
Yeah, that's a good question.
As
I
an,
necessarily had an image for just moving down here, but my goal was and still is that I want to win an Academy Award.
amazing.
for
That's a
you.
good goal.
Thank
Good
you.
goal.
That's my end all be all goal.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let me tell you how to do that.
Okay.
Don't fall in love.
in
God, I know.
Don't do it. I listen. I hope you do. I hope you fall in love with the best guy in the world. But doing what you want to do and traveling around, going to Italy and doing a movie, coming home, going somewhere else. You honestly, Haley, you're so talented. You were so, just as a child actress, you were so good. I mean,
Thank you.
like exceptionally good, as great as just to see someone your age do what you did was amazing, right? Because
Thank you so
I know
much.
Bradford and I were still picking our nose, like, you know, we didn't
Yeah.
know what was going on. So,
Yeah.
but if you want to do this, like, you need to just, and it sounds, I don't know, this doesn't sound the greatest thing telling you to be selfish, but as an actress, as an actor in this business, you know, we're in it for ourselves.
Yeah.
So, you know, those outside influences that come along with, you know, getting older now and just life
Yeah.
can get in the way. So I love that you have a focus and a goal on an Academy Award,
Thank you.
because if you continue that, if that's always in right here in front of you,
Yeah.
you'll get that goal.
Yeah.
But what happens is it gets further away for people, and then other things come in front of it, you know, a boyfriend or whatever, going out to the club, going out to the clubs, whatever it is, you know. And I'm just speaking from experience because all that stuff got in my way, you know.
We're
And
done with the idea of love.
well, you don't have to be done with it. You don't have
But
to
here's
be
the
done.
thing: you have the gift of time.
Yeah, you do.
You have
Yeah.
so much.
Sure.
Don't.
I don't think I will ever experience true love, but
Well,
that's
why
okay.
is that? Why is that?
I don't think it's for me. I don't know.
Oh, it's for you. You'll find it.
Well, that's okay. Like you don't have to make that decision. You don't have to make that decision now. That's
Well,
the great
first
thing
of all,
about
that decision will be made for you, by the way.
Yeah.
yes.
You're not going to have a choice.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
will to a point, but
We're
once you
gonna
know, you
we're gonna
know.
follow up with you in December, and you're like, I met Leonardo, and he's amazing.
Okay, listen.
No,
Y'all want to introduce me to Leonardo DiCaprio? That's a different story. I will
he's
never
50.
We wouldn't do that to you.
He's 50.
We wouldn't do that to you.
Get him out of here.
No, we would. We not that we have any say in what you do in your life, but we would. If I saw you with him, I would try to break it up. I'm
Listen,
sorry.
Listen, and Spinelli can't beat anybody up, but he'll beat Leo DiCaprio up right now.
Get away from Leo. That's what. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Um,
So funny. So
wow. So were you when you got the show? Were you just I mean, because it was recurring at that point. You didn't know how long you'd be there, obviously, right?
I'm still only recurring. I've never been
Right.
under contract.
that's amazing.
Isn't that wild?
It's awesome.
It's so cool. It's so cool to come on as recurring because you can get like a foothold, and they can really depend on what you can do, but you also have the freedom to do other stuff like go to Italy.
Go to Italy.
Yeah. How long are you going to Italy, by the way?
For about a month.
Awesome.
Yeah, so when I found out that I had booked General Hospital, I was in the car with my dad. We were driving from LA back to San Jose. And apparently he was about to have the conversation with me where he would say, look, this isn't working out. You're not being successful. Maybe it's time to just go home and be a normal kid. And then, before he could start speaking, my manager called.
There you go.
That's crazy town.
And I go to General Hospital.
That's crazy town.
Isn't that wild?
So when you first moved down here, was your family like splitting time, or did everybody move down?
No. So I have 4 older siblings.
Right.
So they're all in Northern California. They were all, I think, 18-ish by the time I had decided I wanted to go move to LA. So my parents came with me, and at the beginning they would go back and forth. So my dad would spend a week with me, then go back, and then my mom would come spend a week with me and go back.
Yeah.
So
nice. Hey, you got to make it work, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And there's been but even when you had dips in your GH time, because there have been dips at times, right?
Oh, of course.
Right. But you were down there for good.
I have been down here for good, in my opinion, since I was 8 years old.
Sure.
Yeah. So for school though, because you might have had some time in between storylines or whatever it may be, right? Did you go to regular school?
Yes, I did.
Cool.
Until high school. So it was, I think I was in 4th grade when I moved out here. So from 4th grade to the end of middle school, I went to a school for actors.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, which was really nice.
What is that called?
It's called something different now. It was called.
Was it the one on Ventura?
No.
Okay.
No, it was literally. It was in like a little strip mall. It was super sketchy. There were like 50 students, K through 12, all together.
Wow.
So it was pretty.
That's
Yeah.
But so I was there, and then in high school I did a real high school, but they had a virtual program, so I was able to do online and also go in if I wanted to, which I never wanted to.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
You didn't want to?
No, I didn't.
You didn't want to at all?
Oh God, no. Every time I would walk in, I would literally walk in and be, again, it was virtual program, so everyone was on their computers constantly. Every time I would walk in, people would show me their computers and be like, "Oh my God, I Googled you."
Oh gosh.
Wait a second. All these people are actors too, though?
No.
Not in high school.
Oh, that was regular school.
Yeah, regular school. Yeah.
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 Right.
Yeah. Well, that kind of puts a wall up a little bit right away.
Exactly. I don't want to be Googled.
Right. Yeah.
Bradford does.
I love it. Yeah. When you were in
Google me.
Yeah, right. Now, so when you were in that middle school with other actors, I'm sure there was plenty of Leonardos there too. Well, just because there's something I've always noticed about, and one of the things about growing up in California, in Los Angeles, is that when kids are not at school and when kids start to work, even if it's on a Nickelodeon show, even if it's not, even if they're not doing R-rated movies, it's not that. When you go to work, you grow up faster because you're surrounded by adults that are also in their workplace. And as much as they try to be sensitive to a kid being around, they treat you like you're working. So, so that was one of the things that, when we talked about whether or not we wanted our girls to grow up in LA, like the maturity level of everybody then goes up, because if there's a kid in their class that's working, she comes into class and she's like, well, this is what I did today, and this is what I learned about, and this is, so everybody grows up faster there. And I imagine it's even more so for when you're in a school of all actors.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, I constantly talk about the fact that I have been an adult since I was 8 years old, because I had to be. And I'm not mad about it. I'm not complaining. I love my job more than life itself. But I definitely didn't have a normal childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see your older siblings? Did you see parts of their childhood that maybe you thought you would have until your path went a different way? Are there any things that you specifically think that you may have missed out on?
So specifically, in Northern California, every woman in my family went to Homestead High School, and my mother was the head cheerleader. My sister and my other sister, both of my sisters, were both on the Homestead, what were they called? Homestead Mustang cheer squad.
Oh, wow.
So I always thought, like, I'm gonna be a Mustang. I'm gonna grow up. I'm gonna go to high school. I'm gonna be a Mustang. That's gonna be my thing. So that didn't happen.
No, she didn't.
And when I finally went to real high school, because obviously I didn't go to real school my whole life, but when I finally went to real high school, I was thinking, oh, maybe I can finally be a cheerleader.
No.
Well, turns out you have to go to school 5 days a week to be a cheerleader.
Oh, interesting.
And
yeah, that
I
didn't work
can't
out.
do that.
Was Molly ever a cheerleader at Port Charles High? And does Port Charles High have a mascot?
I don't think we have a mascot, but I absolutely was never a cheerleader. That is so not Molly.
Yeah, she's more of a STEM kid, isn't she?
Exactly.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah,
Love that.
and
I've always,
I've
always liked that about Molly.
Yeah.
You know, I have to say, I think this was when I was very new on the show. And I was also very young, and those Facebook quizzes were super big. So I did I took a which General Hospital character are you?
That's amazing. And who were you?
I took it as Molly, and I got Spinelli.
Yes. No, we were certainly, because they put us together for a bit, like in terms of like working, like trying to help your mom and trying to help, you know, like that was so much fun. That was so much fun.
So you didn't want to kill people? That's okay.
Well, you know what? I might. Maybe not Molly, but
yeah.
I still get people like on Twitter who say that Molly and Spinelli should be together.
Felt like brother and sister, which was kind of cool.
I know.
or grandpa and granddaughter.
Right. Maybe that.
Yeah.
Well, because we always tried to get Sam and Jason to, like, you know, just commit to their love.
Oh, we were all about
yeah.
Sam.
Yeah. You guys gave up on that. Thanks.
Well, we would like candles and stuff and like decorate your apartment.
I would come in wearing snorkel goggles and a little snorkel, and I was like, oh my gosh, are you guys making love?
Yeah, I know. It's so funny. Those are amazing. Those were fun days. Those were fun days.
That was
very fun days.
We had some good stuff. We had some good scenes and fun scenes and dramatic scenes, and it was a lot of fun, man.
It was fun.
Sure.
Yeah, as the years have progressed and they've given you different kinds of material, like, have you kind of noted? Did you ever notice that as like, oh, I'm getting something different here, or they're viewing me as like your first romantic thing? Was that TJ?
I think it was with TJ. Yeah.
Wait, did you just hook up with Brando?
I
was building to that in the shock and awe of that.
Sorry.
So I was trying to build to that with your first romantic thing which was like maybe a little more innocent and like with you and Taekwon, right?
Yeah, I think it was Taekwon at the time.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, I love that man.
Yeah.
The most wonderful boy. So before that happened, Frank Valentini himself called me. And he was like, hey, I know you're 14 or 15 or however old I was, and this is what we're writing. I just want to make sure you're okay with it.
That's
nice.
And
I was like, yep, absolutely. You know,
sure. Right.
And then on set, it was so well done.
Handled.
I felt so safe. I was in
Right.
such good hands.
How'd your parents feel?
Fine.
Great.
They were saying, you know, it's your job. Do what your job is.
Sure.
So
Right.
I did.
Right.
Yeah. So it was good. I mean, I don't remember it now, but I probably felt a little bit awkward and
Sure, of course.
Well, without making assumptions about your life or knowing anything, like telling a young love storyline, depending on what you felt in your normal life, was that challenging or exciting or scary, or do you know what I mean?
It was different because I don't think I had experienced that in my life. So it was definitely like a different thing from my own world.
Sure.
But it was fun. It was great. And I had the most wonderful people to work with. Like I was working with Taquan and I was working with Nancy because Nancy is the one who like she busts into the hotel room.
Sure.
What are you doing? That's the most wonderful woman in the whole entire universe. Nancy's my mother.
She's awesome.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty cool.
I had a great team to work with.
Yeah,
for sure.
So but recently you hooked up with Brando.
I did.
Well, so Johnny is closer to my age, I think.
I don't know if he's that old.
How old he is, honestly.
I think he's in his 30s.
I think so.
Right. And so I forget I was back to do some of the nerves and I think I was downstairs and I caught it on the monitor and it was Sam saying, and it was Sam saying, "Hey, you hooked up," and I was like, "What? No, and so part of that was me not doing the math in my head as to like, you know, Haley's 22 now. Like,
I'm old. I still think I'm like 12.
So like random hookups with fully adult men on the show, I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, no.
I wasn't ready for that. So and that doesn't mean that I don't view you as an adult. That's my issue, not you.
Sure.
So that was jarring.
That was
honestly, it was jarring for me, you know?
Okay.
Like it's so different from Molly's MO.
Sure.
Which I was kind of excited about, you know? Like give me some drama, give me some trouble. So I was really excited. And also Johnny is wonderful and a sweetheart.
Yeah, he's a nice kid. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's super nice. So I had so much fun.
Yeah.
Well, good, because that, you know, to play the character as long as you've played it, and obviously you're getting to do other fun things, but when you're on the show playing that role that you've brought up from where you have, having those new challenges is got to be part of the fun, right? Like it's not like you don't want to just do the same stuff. You want to, and that means that, you know, some of the younger characters that don't get those opportunities don't last, right? Like they go off to college.
Which
right,
I feel like
true.
Molly did do for a hot minute, but she came back.
Yeah, she came back.
Yeah.
Looking back, Haley, on all the stories you were able to do, what is there one that stands out to you? Like,
yes, I was just thinking about this. So my very favorite storyline that I've ever done was when Molly had PTSD from the bus crash.
oh yeah, remember the bus crash?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. That was so incredible. And I found out about the Balkan how that happened.
That's right.
Freaking Balkan, man.
Wow. You were bringing up the past right now, man.
That's amazing.
We're really unearthing some stuff.
That's amazing.
But yeah, I thought that was amazing because PTSD is real. And hello, I have PTSD from things I won't discuss, but like that's so, it affects people.
Sure.
And
Sure.
so portraying it and discussing it and making it a conversation, I thought that was important.
Yeah,
and
Absolutely.
I loved being able to take part in that.
That's cool because
Nice.
GH does a great job with social issues
Oh my
and
God, yeah.
people that have personal issues like that, that they kind of dive deeper than most shows do. So
Yep, I agree.
that's awesome.
Well, and the thing about that is, you end up having, especially if they really commit to writing it, you end up having an opportunity to, kind of build, layer it and think about, okay, well, I have this now. I'm going to potentially be dealing with this for months, maybe
Right.
years. I gotta earn it. I gotta make sure I'm doing this right. Like, cause I can't just have it this week and not next week. Like
Right.
it requires a lot of like thinking and planning and making sure whatever you're doing is sustainable.
Yeah.
And so it's a really cool exercise for an actor to be given something like that, to do it justice and to take it as seriously as you did. Sounds amazing.
Yeah. The storyline itself did not last very long.
Sure.
But I was so excited and so grateful, and I did so much research for it just to make sure I was portraying it correctly and properly,
Yeah.
Because it's a big deal.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
So
So
loved it.
you are a high school graduate?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. How did that rite of passage go?
Not very well. I hated high school with all of my heart. I have always hated the concept of school. I took the CHESP, which is the California High School
Equivalent.
Equivalency test.
California High School Proficiency Exam.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys are very close though.
Well, I thought there was an E in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sure. So I took the CHESP at 16, I think. And when you pass it, you're basically able to work as a legal adult.
Right. Emancipation, I think, something close to that.
Yes. Yeah, very similar to that. So I no longer needed an on-set teacher. I no longer needed a parent to be with me on set. I needed nothing. I could just, and I didn't have hours, like specific hours that I could.
Yeah, you didn't have the the maximum. You had to be out by, like, kids can't work past 8 or 6 or something like that.
Right. No, it's not a certain time, but it's a certain amount of hours.
They can be on set, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I didn't have any of that. So that was really cool.
That's
really cool.
And that is technically a high school diploma.
Sure.
Oh.
And so I kept going to my parents and I would be like, hey, I basically graduated. Maybe I should stop going to high school. And
Right.
no.
And they said no. Okay.
They were not about that.
Okay.
All right.
So I went to high school for the rest of the time that I had to go to high school, and
Sure.
I hated it.
Oh no! Is it just because you had no motivation because you had the thing already? Was that part of it?
I think that might have been part of it, but it was also like, this is distracting me from my actual career. Like, I'm trying to do my real job, and I have to learn about calculus.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and calculus just sucks.
Exactly.
And when are you gonna need calculus?
Nobody needs calculus. No one needs it. You're not
But I
going to
mean-
need it. You're not going to need it in Italy. That's for sure.
You know what? Exactly.
But playing Molly, I bet Molly loves calculus. So
No,
that's
actually,
another.
Molly is a
More of a physics girl.
studying law. So
Oh, she is.
Uh-oh.
Just
Following
like her mom.
Just like mama. That's right.
Here's the thing. Like, if you know, you are on the path to you know, you are already great at what you do, and you're on the path to become even greater. And part of that is experience and doing the work, and part of that is growing as a person and being the most interesting person that you are capable of being.
Sure.
And so learning more about other parts of the world will work for you in other ways too. So like,
Sure.
so it's all going to the right place.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and the life experience that she had on set, meeting people, working with people, seeing situations, dealing with adults so much is a lot different than some kid who just goes to high school for 4 years.
You know, Steve,
Right.
I still remember, I think it was like the first time you and I had worked together. We did our scenes, and then afterwards you said to somebody, I can't remember to who, but you go, sign this girl right now. She needs a 10-year contract.
10-year.
I think about that every day.
Oh, that's sweet. Well, it's true. You deserved it.
So lovely. What a wonderful thing to say.
Oh, that's very sweet. Well, you deserve it. You're a hard worker and you do awesome work. So
Thank you.
Well,
yeah.
And, you know, hopefully once you go off to your international movie career, that's not the last we see of you.
Well, rumor has it you might be coming back to GH soon.
Well, yes, I absolutely am.
Awesome.
I did like 2 scenes a couple weeks ago that just aired.
Mhm.
I have some stuff that should be coming up very soon.
Awesome.
If not already out when this is aired.
Released.
But I also have some more dates in
Awesome.
September.
Great.
Amazing.
Good for you.
Amazing. That's
Awesome.
wonderful. Well, we are always rooting for you, and as silly as it sounds, we're super proud of you. Oh God.
Don't cry, Bradford.
So we can't wait to see what is ahead. And I've been so privileged to be a part of the present and some of the past. So
awesome.
Well, thank you guys so much.
Can't wait to see you at work, Haley. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.